This is the first night we shall all sleep together in peace time. My husband beside me, I thought, praise God, he is still alive. We have survived the war intact. All of us, praise God. And I slept curled beside him, smiling. I woke when the children came to the bed. Their hands were cold, they were trembling. The Greeks, they said the Greeks have come out of the woods.
Who could believe it? Who could believe it? And the black wave of death swallowed the city. Coursed in rivers down the streets, through open windows, overturned cradles, tipped all the spires, cracked the walls, and we lost everything. Just when we thought we could save it forever.
Nothing more cruel.
Nothing more terrible than hope, followed by such darkness.
A night we still wander in.
Calling the names of our husbands.
Our lovers, our friends, our children.
Was it only yesterday you were still my subject? Only yesterday you still had to watch me from your place at the long table. And how like you coward that you are to wait until we are reduced to chattel. Slaves at auction before you dare to walk among us.
Slavery is new to you. When you've endured it as long as I have, years and years, you'll learn to stand up to it without so much self-pity. And then you'll know what I've had to bear.
What have you ever borne besides a lover's weight?
The contempt of the world? You'll know soon enough. When you rise from your raping beds, wiping your eyes and smoothing your skirts down over your thighs, now purple with your new master's handprints, perhaps you'll think of me. When you run from your conquerors and find no mercy anywhere, only veiled eyes, turned heads and sniggering, when children, servants, and strangers on the street spit at you and call you a whore. Then, oh then, I hope you think of me.
You actually expect sympathy from us?
I gave up on sympathy long ago. Always I've been watched and judged, run through by the gazes of gods and men. I've never known the cool shadow of privacy, never known anything like ordinary kindness.
And you accuse me of self-pity. Look at the cost of your little drama and weigh your words. We may be slaves, but we still have the freedom to take our justice as we find it. What can keep us from having our revenge now that you are finally helpless against our hatred and without protection?
When have I ever had protection? And hatred? It's all I've ever known.
You had your choices.
And do you think I would choose this? To be loathed by the entire world? I never had a choice. I was the bride of force. Behind every man who took me stood a goddess who steadied his hips and whispered in my ear.
The shame of your actions can't be blamed on God. You saw your chances and you sniffed the air. You went where the pillows were the softest, where the wine was the sweetest. What has it cost you? Nothing.
I've lost everything!
What have you lost? What have you ever valued beyond your own comfort? Your country? Troy? You love Troy, perhaps. Fools that we were! We opened our shining gates to you only to let you seed your infection of woe in our perfect city.
I went where I was taken.
I watched you. Not a flicker of remorse ever crossed that face of yours as the massacre raged beneath you. No screams of pain ever moved you. All a rack and ruin was reflected in your unearthly open eyes. Which side was winning was all you ever cared to know.
I alone belong to both sides of the battle. Have you never thought of that? There was no winning for me. I was unique on that. I could imagine no victory.
No victory. Nothing but victory. Either way you won. Look at you. You came to us unharmed. And now you'll be taken home intact.
Of course. I am a piece of property. Something to be stolen, hidden, rescued, or restored. A statue, a symbol, nothing more.
I cannot even kill you for the pleasure of that justice. That is for your husband.
You think he'll kill me? After 10 years of fighting for me? He will take me back. It is what legend demands, what it has always demanded. You know that.
If this is the price of beauty, then let beauty perish with everything else. Take her and defile her.
You are fools to hate me! There is no woman here to hate! Only power in that! You cannot skin off of me! Claw my face to ribbon! Shrink my smooth limbs! I will endure!
What shall become of me? Oh, to be without a sting. I, who was a mother of a pride of warriors, might have held a plate of figs for an idle Greek, standing like a statue as the night wears on, listening to the drunken talk spiral into babble as the wine takes hold. Shall I walk the dung pile of a backyard, tossing cracked corn to skittering chickens, whistling soapy water across the mother's floor? What won't be asked of me? I will hug my rags at night and think of the life I had, the city I lost. And perhaps someday, if I am lucky, I will be past weeping for it, and the faces of my dead will mottle and blur until they become indistinct, like stones seen at the bottom of a rushing riverbed.
So you think you're free of me now? As if what I am was ever just some body you could shame. You still think I'm just some woman of flesh and bone with a single story? That girl you could have punished died long ago. I became the Helen! The eating flame of beauty. She happened to the world. It had nothing to do with me.
Take her to her husband. Let him see her for what she is.
Whatever you dream, you will always be dreaming of her. She is the fire that hollowed you out. Try to forget me. You will fail.
Give her back to her husband. Let him take his beauty home.
Mother, my queen! Oh, my brave son's wife! Where are you going? What do you take with you?
I go to the Greeks. I take all I have, my son. Was I a good wife?
He loved you deeply. He called you his shield. And there never was a better wife.
Then that is to be the nature of my punishment. I am given to the son of my husband's murderer. Achilles' own son claims me as his wife. I am to go to his bed, to let him put his arms around me. I am to find comfort there, in the arms, against the skin of his killer's son. I, who loved a prince, and they say it is because I was so prized. A gentlewoman, she who is most intimate with the most powerful, she who shared the bed of the greatest hero, she will be the greatest prize. I see the rest of my life lived with this stranger, contracted in sorrow and woe. I am young. I have loved deeply. Shall I never be allowed to feel anything other than hatred? Isn't that some sort of crime? To waste a life in hatred, and yet, if I feel anything else, even an echo of the love and happiness I have known, I will be betraying my family, my honor, my city, my country. Perhaps one can only hate a man so much. No matter who he is, perhaps there will be some light left for me in this life. Perhaps I will forget.
You must never forget. You were blessed above all women. You must never cease mourning. He was without peer. No one can replace him.
He's gone. He's gone. He left me here in this agony and shame. I envy him. He feels no pain. He cannot be disgraced. He is free. How am I to live?
You will live in gratitude and service to his memory.
Without joy?
Without joy.
Without hope?
Without hope.
The dead ask too much of us. I will find a way to love life, even in slavery, even in bondage and degradation. It is only my body that can be owned. My mind, my spirit belongs to me.
You who were so blessed in that marriage.
I was blessed before I ever saw him. I was blessed to be given life. I must learn to love it, even in this horror, even in this nightmare, even without him. Far from home, I will find a way. Oh, Hector, I loved you.
You were a good wife and a sweetness in his life, and you have given me my only grandchild. Be careful and raise him well in his new home. Tell him about his father. Murmur stories of us quietly into his ears so he will dream of his father's city. Let him raise his father's city from the ashes and neglect of history. Will you do that? For me? For your father? Then we will live again.
Then we will live on. Yes, we will live on. You will do this, little one. In your memory, we will live.
Do not hate me.
You are only a Greek. Give me more reason.
I speak for others. They've sent me here to... I can't say.
What could you possibly do to us that is worse than what has already been done? Kill us? We would sleep in surrender to our misery. Rape us? We have already been tagged a parcel for our different rapes. There is nothing we have left to fear.
I have come for the child.
Which child?
Dead Hector's child.
Must he go to a different master than the one I serve?
There's no way to say this. The council decree.
What? Must he be left behind in the ruined city? All alone?
Worse. Terrible. I can't say it.
What has the council decreed?
That he must die.
How?
He used to be a hope in the battlements of Troy, the top of the city walls.
No!
You must reason with her. It will only be worse if she resists.
You talk to her.
Lady,
Please,
let this happen.
no one can help you.
No one can save him now. There is no shame in submission at this time. You've lost. Your city, your army, your protector's gone. It will be better for you. It will be better for him to just give him over.
He will not
Do
know,
not let him hear his mother's cry. He will not understand.
and it will be quick.
A moment in the blinding air and it will be over.
Lady,
Give over.
Let her speak to him. Let her have him alone for the last time.
She has that right.
You smell so sweet. My dear baby, you smell so sweet. I knew you were coming to me long before my belly swelled. I thought, my son, he will rule the world. Oh, let me smell your downy head once more, my darling.